C2, Trigonometry, Section 1, the cast diagram. So instead of drawing out the curves each time for sine, cos and tan, remembering where each one of them starts and the shape of each one of them, instead we could use the cast diagram. So the setup of the cast diagram is we start in the bottom right hand corner and work anti-clockwise, writing cast. So C-A-S-T. And each one of these letters represents one of the graphs. So C is for cos, A is for all of the graphs, S is for sine, and T is for tan. Now, in each one of these, so in all of the graphs are positive. In C, only the cos graph is positive. In T, only the tan graph is positive. And in S, only the sine graph is positive. And each one of the axes points represents a certain degree. So the first point here will represent 0 degrees. It will also represent 360 degrees, and it will also represent minus 360 degrees. But it can also represent 0 radians, 2 pi radians, and minus 2 pi radians. And so when we work around, we work up from the x-axis each time, but working around this way. So now this would represent 90 degrees, or it would represent minus 270 degrees if we worked backwards. So that means it would also represent pi over 2 radians and minus 3 pi over 2 radians. Working around again, now here we would have 180 degrees or minus 180 degrees if we worked anti-clockwise. And we would also have pi radians or minus pi radians. So here we'd have 270 degrees or minus 90 degrees, and we would have 3 pi over 2 radians, or we would have minus pi over 2 radians. So usually we only go between minus 360 or minus 2 pi and 360 degrees and 2 pi. So if we had an angle, say going back to the example before, if we wanting to find everywhere where sine of 50 degrees was the same, so 50 degrees is positive, so we want to be in all and sine, so we would have a line here and a line here where each one of these was 50 degrees away from the x-axis. So this would be 50 degrees and this would be 50 degrees. And that means that for sine we would have 50 degrees, and then we would also have 180 degrees minus 50 degrees, so that would be 130 degrees. And then we could work backwards, so that would be minus 130 degrees minus 50 degrees, so that would be minus 230 degrees. And then we could work all the way back around to get to this line, which would be minus 360 degrees plus 50 degrees, so that would be minus 310 degrees. So if we work clockwise, then we are going negative, and if we work anti-clockwise, then we are finding the positive ones. So we'll be doing more examples of this in example 5.